Hello, hello. This is Ignacy Portal Games. How are you doing? This is Portal Games Informant, our YouTube show. We meet every Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, and I discuss board games topics. My name is Ignacy Trzewiczek. I work in the industry since 1997. In a long time. I started the company Portal Games many years ago, and every Monday, 9 a.m. Polish Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Polish time, I discuss board game topics with you guys, with board game nerds, board game enthusiasts. So, as always, as every single vlogger asks, hey, is the audio okay? Is the video okay? Can you hear me? Can you see me? How's your day going so far? Good day, says Bam the Mighty. Hello. I forgot my iPad and now I'm using my phone. The captain is going to have some challenges soon other than easier AI, says Von Rummel. Hello, Ben. And he discusses, of course, Hiroshima Hex. The mic is not on. That would be terrible. I'm on. I'm on. We feel you. Good morning. Hi, Ignacy. When will the finalists from the Crusoe scenario contest announced? Gregor asked me. Audio is great, says Ben. So Ruby was, Ruby. People say they hear me. What the hell? So apparently it works for everyone except Ruby. So once again, hello, Ignacy Portal Games. This is a YouTube show. We meet every Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, and we discuss board game topics. My name is Ignacy Trzewiczek. I work at Portal Games, and I'm in industry since 1997. And the show works always the same. The first 5 to 10 minutes is a warming up. I have always some updates from my company. And I'm checking what's happening at your places, and then there's this serious topic. Today we have a super interesting topic, how to prepare a prototype of the board game. So there's many new aspiring game designers, people who want to start game design, who want to start making board games, and they don't know how to start. I hope I will help you today with some of my advices. I created a couple of games, so I know how to create a prototype. And then after the serious topic of the week, we have just epic Q&A when I answer all your questions about anything, so like epic Q&A. So this is the plan for today, and we are now in the section of warming up. So how are you doing, guys? Hello, Adam. Hello, Ruby. Ruby says sorry. All right. Nick says hello, Nick. Audio is great. That goes too fast. Gregor says, Ignacy, when will the finalists from the Crusoe scenario contest being announced? Gregor, it already happened. It was during the Robinson Crusoe Collector's Edition campaign, so I guess it is already announced. Yes. Let me just make the note so I'm super sure about that, but I guess it already happened. Crusoe contest. I will double check, but I think we announced them. Chris says, I was wondering when the pledge manager for Robinson Crusoe will open, and this leads me to this epic. By the way, have you played that? Vienna Connection, my new game. You can grab it at your local game store. It was released last week, and I hope you enjoyed that. But I will get back to this in a moment, because so that was a mock-up of this epic box for Robinson Crusoe Collector's Edition. And as I said in the last update, and I'm going to post the new update today. In the last update, we said that we will open the pledge manager as soon as we get the sample from the manufacturer, so we can get the final wave of the product. So that was the mock-up that we had, and we were presenting you during the campaign. And this past Thursday, we finally received the sample from the manufacturer, and I have it with me here. So let me just grab this box. It's very heavy. Bend. Of course, no artwork, because this is just a sample to present components. This box, look at the final size of the box, look what the mock-up was during the campaign. This is how much stuff we added during the campaign, because the campaign was amazing and you were giving us amazing feedback. So yes, we finally have a sample copy. Now my team is checking all the technicals about this item, and then they will check the weight of the thing. Whoops. And check all the shipping costs, and then we'll be able to open the pledge manager. So pledge manager late June. It was planned to be May. But as I said, we just received this sample, so now we can finally start working on a pledge manager. This baby is very heavy, believe me. It doesn't look nice in the camera, right? I will remove it from the view. So Pledge Manager, not ready for Robinson Crusoe Collector's Edition, but we are moving forward, so this is a good news. As I said, we get the sample, and now my team can finally prepare this stuff. Richard says, looking forward to this, really enjoying your games. Thank you, sir, I appreciate that, that's very, very kind. And Gregos is here, hello, hello. And Jeremiah says, Daniel doing great with the ads, looking forward to being hungry with other Portal games. I absolutely agree, and we have a special message to Danielle. If she's working, we had voting today in the company, and we voted that she has to move to Poland so we can get access to all the cookies and cakes she's baking. And for all of you who don't have a clue what I'm talking about, we have this amazing new person in our team, Danielle, and Danielle is doing our marketing stuff, and she's making amazing videos. You can check them out at Portal Games US at Twitter, Portal Games US on Instagram, and Portal Games US on TikTok, and also here as a YouTube Shorts. And Danielle in these videos is baking cakes dedicated to our games. So that's why we voted that she has to move to Poland, so we can play test these cakes. Love the content that she's doing, so absolutely check it out. Portal Games US on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, and see what amazing cakes play along with our games. That was that. I was going to speak about the Vienna connection. I wanted to whine and yell at you and complain and being like a Slavic designer. Not enough votes from you on Board Game Geek website. So many people already played the game. We see the stats and we see them in the Antares. And only a couple of ratings on Board Game Geek website. So hey, dear fans, hey Portal Games fans, if you played this Vienna connection already, if you like it or if you don't like it, please share your opinion on Board Game Geek. Please go to the website and give us some ratings, because now you are being lazy, and Ignacy is always yelling at the lazy fans. We spent so much time working on this game for you, preparing everything, giving our best for you, and all we wait from you as a feedback. Post some pictures, post some photos, and rate the game on Board Game Geek. I appreciate your support for this game. What the chat is saying, yes, it is a fine addition to the crazy Portal Games marketing, says Grzegorz. I absolutely agree. We invited Danielle to our team because she is as crazy as we are, and she is perfect fit for Portal Games. Danielle's clips are great, says Ben. I absolutely agree. Did you play any games or something? I played one game this weekend. It was a very interesting game from Grey Fox Games, I think. Arcan, something, Rising. Interesting stuff. You should check it out. I will probably do some review in the future. Hi, I ordered Vienna Connection, and unfortunately, when I received it, it was missing the Mission 1 envelope and also the Suburbia case that I ordered. I sent an email to Portal again. It is. Anyway, I expect that you said. I suppose that you send email and get not answer back. Please check out your spam folder. We had so many situations when fans were reaching us. We received your feedback, your email. We replied to this email, and it was blocked by your spam filters. So please check your spam. Probably our reply is there. If there is still a problem, please contact us through Facebook as a message on our page, because there are no spam filters. So I'm so sorry there is an issue with the game. Absolutely want to help you. Absolutely want to get back to you, but we need to have a chance to do that. Double compliment. I wanted to compliment your nicely created shelf, then I realized then there were all your games that is. Thank you. This is amazing shelf. We have a Chinese Narushima Hex, we have a Russian 51st State, and we have Korean Empires of the North. We have all different games from my design or my company, but in different editions, and is amazing. We will play Vienna Connection on Wednesday. Can't wait, says Adam. I appreciate that. I hope you will have a great time with that. My internet connection is lost. It will be difficult for you to discuss now. Don't make Ignacy beg for likes. Hit that like button. Bam is the right. Guys, you are consuming this content. We're on YouTube, and how the YouTube works. The YouTube gives you amazing content, and YouTube wants in a reward a like. So if you like this content, if you like this crazy dude from Poland, give us a like. We really appreciate that. where I was. We discussed Daniel. Last week I confirmed, I want to confirm it once again, we are going to Gen Con, so if you are going to Gen Con, we will be there, Portal Games, and we will have $1 million script, our new party game that says, almost on the box, it doesn't say on the box, but it should, COVID, go home. This is our $1 million script, the party game that we are releasing around the Gen Con. Egyptian Kings, I haven't played the final version yet, I'm so sorry. Shame on me. I definitely owe you a feedback on this expansion, but I haven't had time yet because I was moving. But Z Garcia gave it the seal of excellence. So if you can listen to me or you can listen to Z, listen to Z. Z said it's amazing, so he's absolutely right with that. Now, how much time I have? Oh, it's 10. So I think we should go to the topic of the week, and then I will follow up with the few announcements. Remind me later so I don't forget. We had a contest for Scenario for Robinson. We had a contest for a new faction for Empires of the North. You never heard about this? I will discuss this in a moment, but before that, short commercial break because I have to go to another camera, and then we are getting serious, and Ignacy is doing a seminar, how to prepare board game prototype. Stay tuned. Hello. We are back, and this Portal Games in format. Every single week I pick one topic for board games industry, and I try to discuss and try to educate and teach you something. And today we are discussing how to make a prototype of the board game. As I said, my name is Ignacy. I created a couple of prototypes in my life. I'm designer of Robinson Crusoe and Detective and Imperial Settlers and many other games. So I did a couple of prototypes in my life, and I know that there's so many of you struggling to start doing this prototype, how to make it. So this is like a one-on-one prototyping for dummies. Be with me, and here are a few advices for you how to start. Let's start with the first slide. Wooden and cardboard pieces. So these photos Marek took in our office. We have in our office the special room for our development team that has the whole Kallax shelf full of components. As you can see here, we have some pieces, and we have dice and wooden pieces and cardboard pieces. We have everything, of course, because we are doing it as a daytime job. How you can grab these tokens, how you can grab the wooden pieces, how you can grab some tiles. It's super easy. Back then, when I was starting this career, it was very easy for me. What I was doing, I was buying, believe it or not, very cheap board games that somebody was getting rid of. And I was buying it like in bulk, like I buy these 10 games that probably suck. And I was harvesting, I was cannibalizing them, I was taking cards from them, I was taking pounds from them, I was taking dice from them. So I was buying the crappiest possible board games. Sorry, designers of these games. I was buying super cheap, crappy board games, and I was just ripping them apart and taking tokens, taking wooden pieces, etc. I remember when I made a quite impression when somebody visited my office back then, and I had like 10 copies of Euro Business, which is like a Polish fake copy of Monopoly, and I had 10 boxes of that. Why? Because it had plastic buildings, and I needed them for my prototype that I never finished, by the way. So how you grab these amazing wooden pieces, how you grab these tokens that you need? You buy cheap games that are on sale that nobody wants to play, but you can use them as a component. So cannibalizing other board games. This is what you need to do. Take some not awesome game and use these components to make this amazing prototype that hopefully will be amazing game. So how we get these pieces? We cannibalize. Can I have a next slide, please? Boards. As you can see here on this picture, you can see the board for Robinson Crusoe, for the prototype of Robinson Crusoe. The same case, I took the board from other game, and I flipped it on the back side. Most of board game boards, not all of them, but most of them on the other side are plain black or plain white, and you can use this side to put your notes, your marks, your spaces. And this one, as you can see, has this fancy part when I used some painting skills and painted the board and painted the island. Of course, you don't need to do this in your prototype, but all the other pieces are just paper, and I just use the glue and glue them to the board. And as the prototype was changing, as the prototype was evolving, I was just adjusting this board and using new paper pieces and adding them to the board. I'm not sure if it is seen in this picture, but there are like some signs of other paper elements that were back then. So very simple. Take the board game, take out the board, flip it on the back, and you have your board, and it's all yours. And now you just make a nose on that and add some additional stuff, and this is your board. So once again, cannibalize them, buy the very cheap game, get the board, and you have your board. As I said, this is Robinson Crusoe prototype on the back of other game. Can I have next slide? So you can see here maybe some super rare and expensive cards, but most likely these are just a common. I have a huge box of all the magic cards. How I get them? Because I get them in one big bulk. These are all just the commons, nothing interesting, lots of probably not interesting cards, but I have like hundreds of them. So when I do a card for my prototypes, I use the magic cards. I sleeve them, so they are in a sleeve, and then to this sleeve, can I have a piece of paper, please? Thank you. And then when I have this magic card, I have a sleeve, and then into this sleeve I put in the front my card with my text, with my ideas, with my ruling. So the magic and all CCGs, almost all CCGs will make this your card like a thick, and then you put any piece of paper inside and make it super simple to play. Few advices about the cards. Use not non-transparent sleeves. Use color sleeves. Why? Because they will represent different backs of your card. So for example, even today, many years later, I remember that when I was playtesting Roman decks for Imperial Settlers, they were in red sleeves. I remember Egyptians in Imperial Settlers in 2014 had black sleeves. So depending on which sleeves you are using, you are imitating the fact that in the final game, your cards will be having different backs. So this is very important for you if you are doing a card game. If you have different decks, just use non-transparent sleeves and you're set to go. And the last piece of advice with the cards, do not overdo the layout, that's for sure. And don't spend too much time on a computer. So many of you, of course, have a computer as your primary tool to create prototype and to work in the office. But it is so much easier. Can I have, once again, one more piece of paper? Can I have a pen? You play test, you play the game, you have some fixes, you have your pen, you have your paper, you just adjust the card, you sleeve it back, and you're ready. You don't go to the computer, you don't go to edit it in the Word file, you don't print it once again, you don't cut all the shit once again. No. It's a waste of time. When you play test, you want to be fast, you want to be efficient, you want to move forward and have a good pace. How you do it? Pen and paper and sleeve. So if you're playtesting, you have some notes, you have some conclusions after one of the playtests. Just make a note, delete something, add something, change the code of the cards, leave it back, and play again. Don't go to the computer, don't adjust the file, don't print it once again, don't cut it once again. Don't waste time. Go. So pen and paper and sleeves, and this is all you need for your cards in your prototype. Be efficient, be fast. Can I have a next slide? So 3D printing. When I was starting my career, of course, there was no 3D printing, and then for the first time, I remember I heard about the 3D printer in board game, a design from Antoine Bauza. He was doing a game with Eric Lang. The game was called the Victorian Masterminds back then, and this is the game that has these villains who want to destroy these famous cities. And there is Paris and Rome and other cities. And Antoine had access to 3D printing, and his prototype looked amazing because he already printed these big constructions, and it added so much value for the playtesting. And this is true for many games. I remember myself playtesting early version for Polish edition with Marek here, the others from Eric Lang, and we got the files from Simon, and instead of amazing miniatures, we just had the tokens, and the experience was not that amazing compared to the final experience when we had the miniatures and they were killing each other, and that was amazing. So sometimes for your game it is important to have these 3D dimensional pieces, and sometimes just a token will not transport the final experience players will have. So if you are doing a Ameritrash game, or if you are doing the game that uses some smart 3D pieces, in these days you can probably either have 3D printer at your home, or you know somebody, some of your friends have a 3D printer at home, and don't hesitate, print some stuff and add the value to the prototype, because remember, the feedback for the playtesters is driven by emotions. Either they have a great time during the game or they don't, and they will give you different feedback. If you get with your pieces the closest possible to the final one, you will get the closest to the possible one feedback from them. So don't hesitate. We are having right now 3D printing printer in the office because of that. So for example, here in this picture you see the pieces for 11, our Football Manager game that we are going to have on a Game Found campaign in upcoming weeks. And yes, you see the 3D printed soccer players in the shirts. So yes, that's how we work, and I strongly recommend, if you have plastic pieces in your game, use your networking, ask somebody for help and print your pieces. It will help to have this good experience for your players. Can I have a next slide, please? Be quick. So I already mentioned that these amazing notes from amazing designer Ignacy. You can see that quick. Adjust the prototype, change it on the fly. Use pen, use paper. Don't waste time to go to the computer to type it in, to print it, to adjust, etc. Just on the fly, even in the middle of the game. You're playing, you see that something is not working. Pen, change, and okay, guys, we are changing the scoring. Now this is a new scoring. You put the piece of paper in the front of the table, say, this is how we score from now, in the middle of the game. Don't wait. Adjust, change, be quick, and don't overthink. Don't wait for the next week. Don't wait for the next month. If you want to design a game, it takes a lot of work, and you have to be efficient, you have to be fast, and you have to be quick. So this is how I design quick notes on any paper that I found around me, put in the box, and then think about them, adjust them to the prototype, and play again and again and again. So don't hesitate, and don't be afraid of doing some quick changes. The worst case scenario, the change will not work, and you will get back to the old version. So experiment, check, have fun, and be quick. Can I have a next slide, please? Be cruel. This is Marek destroying my prototype of 11 a few hours ago. Why? Because I have a new version of prototype of 11 we just printed, and we are going to playtest in a few hours today. But what does it mean? Be cruel means that if something is not working, destroy, remove, don't hesitate. And it is very important for you to understand. That's why what you see in these pictures, my prototypes, in most cases, are super ugly. I don't care how they look. I really just use a pencil and pen and a small piece of paper, and I don't give a shit about how they look. Why? Because if they are not looking pretty, if I don't spend a lot of time making them amazing, it is so much easier for me to just rip them, destroy, delete, trash, and move on. So we had this discussion with my friend Michael Oracz, designer of This War of Mine and co-designer for Nemesis and many other great games, and of course Narushima Hex. And because Michael is an artist, he can paint. He finished college with about the art. And his prototypes are always beautiful. And we had always this argument, and I was saying to him, Michael, you're wasting time to make this prototype beautiful, and then after one playtest, you will just destroy it and get rid of that, and you will have to do it again. And yeah, but he likes it to be beautiful. He likes it to be pretty. He wants playtesters to see the illustrations, etc., while me, not so much. Destroy, destroy, destroy. The more crappy the prototype looks, it is easier for you to just destroy it and get rid of that. So be cruel, destroy, delete, trash, move on, new version, new version, new version. Can I have a next slide, please? And the box sizes. So here's my shelf of my prototypes in my office, and put your prototype in a box that matches the box that you want this game to be on a shelf in a future in the game store. Why it is important? Depending on the box size, the box size suggested just the price of the game. So if you put it in like a big Gloomhaven box, it's 100 game. If you put it in like the Others or Blood Rage box, it's like 75 bucks game. If you put it like in a detective box, it's like a $50, $60 a game, and going down and down and down, smaller boxes, smaller boxes, smaller boxes. So this box limits you, tells you, okay, I'm doing a medium weight game. It is about 50 bucks a game. I can have there a deck of cards, maybe small board, couple of tokens. It tells you how much tokens, how much boards, how much cards, how much components you can put into the box. And the exercise I always give during the seminars to young designers is take all the pieces you have in your prototype, compare in your collection other game that has similar number of pieces, then check the price of this game and see if you would pay for your game that some amount of money. So it is good to limit yourself with the number of components in your game, and having this reminder, okay, I'm doing this size of the box. I can afford only the deck of the cards and a couple of tokens because this is the size of the box. I'm aiming at 20 bucks a game. I'm aiming at 30 bucks a game. It will help you, give you some limitations on the craziness of the design, because it is so easy to forget about this and just add more and add more and add more and add more, and suddenly your game looks like Gloomhaven. And of course, there is this famous Isaac who had a success in Gloomhaven, but this is not always the case. So it is always good to limit yourself. So this is my advice for you, for young designers. Limit yourself with the box size. Have your prototype in a box. Have these components limited and listed, and you will be fine. So this is my few advices for you how to prepare a prototype. In other words, grab some old games, grab components from them, rip them apart, use them for your game. Use non-transparent sleeves, your old magic cards, use pen and paper, don't overthink the computer and printing, it's a waste of the time. Don't hesitate to trash ideas and destroy them. Don't make it all pretty, because it will be harder for you to destroy. Make it not pretty, make it ugly, so it's easier for you to destroy and get rid of. And remember about the number of components you put in your game. Every single component increases the price of the game. The higher price, less likely customers to buy it. As simple as that. If you like these short seminars, if you like to learn about the board games industry, if you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. Please subscribe and get to the channel and getting the notification button. Please like if you like this short seminar. And as always, we meet every Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. European Time. And I'm here for you to teach you a couple of things about the board games industry. If you have a particular topic that you want me to discuss, if you have some particular questions, please leave them below in the comments. I'm checking all the comments every single week, and if there's any interesting question, I'm always making it into the topic of the week. So if you want to learn something, leave the comments, and I will teach you about this in upcoming weeks. Thank you for being with me. As I said, subscribe, like, and see you in a moment. Now we will once again make a short commercial break, so I go to another camera, and then the last 10 minutes epic Q&A. If you have any questions, I'm here for you, either for the topic of the week, so if you have any questions about the prototyping, I will be answering, or any other questions as well. So see you in a moment. And we are back. Hello, hello, hello. This is Portal Games. This is Portal Games Informant, our weekly show where I meet with Portal Games fans and I discuss the board game topics and I teach you how the industry works, and I hope you appreciate that. And I'm back here in the chat. So guys, if you have any questions, I'm here for you right now. Ricardo says, I have a game ready to send to the editor. Can I send you that? Absolutely, Ricardo. Send it to portal@portalgames.pl, short description of the game, and we will consider publishing. This year we are publishing amazing game from Bruno Faiduti called Dreadful Circus, and this is how we get it. Bruno just sent us email. So this is how it works. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Christos says, Ignacy, I might have missed it, but when should the Pledge Manager go live for Robinson Crusoe? I don't want to miss anything. Absolutely, you are fine. We are not opening it yet. I showed in the first part of the video. So we received it this past Thursday, the sample of the Robinson Crusoe Collector's Edition. Now my team is checking all the technicalities, checking if everything is fine. If everything is fine, they are going to check the weight of the thing and then get all the shipping costs for all the different countries and continents. And then we will be ready to start Pledge Manager. So Pledge Manager for this game will start late June. And this was my answer. Thanks, Ignacy, for these tips. Absolutely, Giacomo, happy to help. Hello, hello from Dubai. Hello, hello, Dubai. That's a far away from this. I saw it only on the pictures and it looks beautiful. Very helpful. Thank you for that. Ready to play test? Absolutely. Guys, I wanted to share with you great news. We ran in Poland contest for a new faction for Empires of the North. It was only for our Polish fans because we are not only looking for a new faction for the game, but we are also looking for the new playtesters, new developers, and new people who can join our team. So that's why it was only for people living in Poland. And I have a great news for you. The contest ended yesterday. We had lots of submissions. Now I will spend a couple of weeks checking them, analyzing them, reading them, and choosing the best one. But hopefully some new factions for Empires of the North will get published thanks to Polish fans. So this is a good news for you, for all the fans of Empires of the North. And the good news, the other good news, we also ran the contest for the new case for detective, because the same situation. We are looking for the new writers, the new talent people, new fans who can join our team as a developers, as a playtesters, as a writers. So we are looking for the new talent. And once again, as well, we received already a couple of interesting ideas, and this contest will end up in June. So I'm still looking forward for more submissions. So once again, good new content probably released next year from the best Polish fans. So it's good news for you. New content for Empires of the North and new content for Detective, thanks to Polish fans. That was a good news? I guess it was. Jeremiah says, how do you choose which components end up getting a premium or 3D treatment and which can stay as fig cardboard materials? So this is a interesting case because in these days with the Kickstarter, we have so much more funds looking for the plastic bits, and you can easily see this in the Kickstarter campaigns. If the campaign has a plastic bits, it gets higher. If it doesn't, it doesn't have a huge success. It's the way the world works right now. So with this case, for instance, for 11, we decided that in the retail version of the game there will be cardboard tokens, but for the Kickstarter we'll have these amazing plastic pieces that represents the soccer players. So it depends on the audience, Kickstarter or retail, and of course it depends on the type of the game. But yes, plastic is always can be fancy and 3D, and so yes, if we want to add something fancy, we go for it. Christus says dziękuję ci, which means thank you, Dad. LZ says, you could have made this episode much earlier. I would send my proposal for the competition as photos of these small pieces of notes. Reading a handwritten notes, it would be a challenge. Guys, I did a seminar about game design a couple of years ago when we were visiting Gen Con and UK Game Expo, and I think there's many people who just wants to talk with somebody who already did it, who already did prototype, who already designed game, and just they have so many questions that yes, I've been there, and Eric Lang was there, and designers who made it had all these problems that you have, and we want to help you. This stupid screen is shutting down over and over again. How many different prototypes did Empires of the North take to get right? And there was actually there was a couple of versions, and then suddenly, like in 1 week, everything clicked. Like I remember we had with Jana these fields, and they were not working exactly, and suddenly, and there was this board that was like a long board, not the wheel one, and then a few days later, everything just clicked, and it was ready. So I remember that we were looking for a solution, and finally everything just clicked. And in a few days, we were ready with the game. It was a pleasure working with Joanna. Dutch says, when can we expect the request to join the demo team for Essen Spiel? I can't wait to teach people some awesome games. Thank you, Dutch. It's far too early. We still are debating how many people from our company will go. We are debating how to approach the show at this point. As for now, as the last day of May, we decided there will be no demo tables in Essen, but there's not final decision, so we are now adjusting. We will learn how Gen Con looks like, and then after Gen Con, we will decide how our Essen will look like. So definitely not yet there. Christos says, you need writers. How would a guy, say, from America become a writer for Portal Games? Would it involve them buying one-way plane ticket to Poland? Yeah, Christos, we write detective stories in Polish, so we would have to learn Polish first, and then we can discuss things. But of course, if you want to write some stuff for detective, reach me. Maybe we can do something together. But of course, yes, the whole team here is located in Poland, and we do all the brainstorming and mind maps and all the how the crime was committed. We did everything in Polish, and then we translate into in English. So that's why. I saw Mutant Chronicles in the prototype discussion earlier. Are you aware of the Doom Trooper card game, digital, redeveloped? No, I didn't know that. That's interesting. So, did you know that? The Doom Trooper, yes? I'll make myself a note. Doom Trooper was the first, and probably not the only, but the first CCG released in Poland. So it was a huge hit. It was for me discovering CCG's drag. It was before we discovered in Poland Magic the Gathering. So Doom Trooper was extremely popular in Poland. I spent a ton of money on this card. So I didn't know that. But of course, who played Doom Trooper when they were in high school? They got sucked by the universe and the amazing artwork by Paul Bronner. So I'm looking forward to check it out. Interesting. The 3D path should not overcome playability. Robinson Crusoe example. Yeah, so this is of course the case that your pieces have to have purpose. Why you're using them? If they're adding anything to experience. If this is Ameritrash game, you add miniatures because players wants to paint them, wants to roll dice and vision what's happening, and this is why you are doing this in Ameritrash games. If you're doing Euro game, maybe you don't need miniatures. Most likely you don't need them. And so absolutely. But this also, if you have a 3D printer, you can print the prototype with the 3D printing miniatures and playtest with the one group with the miniatures, playtest with the other group without miniatures, and compare the feedback, compare the experience, compare what they like. So if you have the access to the 3D printing, I would say try it. You always have more options for you. Christos says, my last question for today is, how can I become a sexy board game designer like you? My wife Nanette says hi. Hello Nanette. I'm not sure if I'm that sexy. So how to become designer? Try. Before I became a game designer, it took me a lot of time just trying and struggling and doing my best. So it's not a one weekend job. It's a lot of work. I'm looking at my notes here. I discussed the contest. I discussed the Vienna connection. I told you about Ignacy giving seal excellence to Egyptian kings. I already said you last week that Dune is at the manufacturer level, Dreadful Circus at the manufacturer level. Dreadful Circus is an amazing card game from Bruno Faiduti. And things are happening, guys. Thank you for being with us. I appreciate that. I meet with you every single Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Appreciate if you give us a like, if you like this content, if you like these videos, and give us a subscribe if you want to be in touch with us every single week, and tell other people about this show, about this crazy dude from Poland who every single week gives you some look behind the scenes on board game industry. Let me know in the comments if you like this content. Let me know in the comments what you want me to discuss in upcoming weeks, what topic would be interesting for you for the show. And see you next week. I wish you amazing week. For us is for sure amazing because this dude behind the camera, Marek, is preparing a e-version of the prototype of the 11. So we are opening another wave of the playtesting the game. So 11 will be now playtested in an e-version. I'm going to have a playtest of 11 today, 6 p.m. Polish time. So in a couple of hours, I'm driving to my friend to playtest 11 again. So things are happening. The energy is here. Please remember to follow us and Daniel at Portal Games US on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Stay well. Thank you. See you next time. Hey, the most important. I need your feedback on the game Vienna connection. Hello. Where are my ratings? Where are my feedback? Where are my pics? Where are my photos? Please, if you like this content, if you like this game, if you had a great time with your friends, don't hesitate to tell me how much you love that. Thank you. See you next week.